this is it. Some rides start a little more urgent, some start a little more peaceful, and this one was started peaceful, got urgent, and got epic. So before you run away, this is what's in store. This is where we end up, and this is what we're going to. Now, before we begin the journey, I always have to send shout out. This was my first ride with the two gentlemen above. We've got John and Nathan accompanying me on this trip, and they are the guides. I was invited along with them, which I very much appreciate. It was a great ride in just a beautiful location. I'm very thankful for them for inviting me along and tolerating me as we were going up the mountain. As we become less young and more juvenile, it gets harder to find people to ride with, and I've been pretty fortunate since coming to Alberta to find a small group of people to ride with, but it's always good to expand the horizons, to ride with new people. It's fun to see new riding locations. Honestly, one of the hardest things to do, and especially in an area where we're kind of close to the Eastern Rockies, is just finding trails. Everybody keeps their gems. It's like nice fishing holes, so really got to thank anybody that invites you along and shares their special little spots. Now, with that out of the way, we return to the trip. Where we are is Cataman Mountain in the Eastern Rockies, kind of mid-province, north to south, south of Hinton or Jasper, as some of you might know. We won't spend a lot of time here in the woods, but I thought it was important to show kind of the transition and some of the difficulty we have going up. This area was kind of interesting. It's incredibly loose rock underneath. It doesn't really look it. It's moderate steep. It's not really super steep, but there was almost no traction to be had. Everything was so loose. Recently I started carrying a rescue rope for the bike, and this isn't my rope, this is Nathan's, and we're giving him a short little tug up the hill here, as it was a little too steep to get traction where he was. But it's honestly one of those things where after starting to carry one, I wonder, why did it take so long to carry these? It makes this recovery so much easier, and just so much easier on your body. You'll notice with John here pushing his bike up, it gets a nice spray going. Honestly, it doesn't look very slick, but the top layer here, probably 2 to 3 inches deep, was just not stuck. It was little rocks, surprisingly dry. It just didn't have any tack to it, so it was a little hard to get going. But pretty quickly we get clear of the tree line, and we're up into the Alpine, which honestly is the reason we're here. This next few moments in the journey, a few minutes in the journey, are really such a unique experience, something that's really, you need to be here. Now, the astute among you will notice that there was a green sign just as we were transitioning into the, above the tree line. That sign shows that this area is only accessible for, I believe, about 2 to 3 months every summer, not till July 1st, I believe. It might even be August 1st. Thankfully, we fall in that window. One of the big concerns I have with riding into new areas is that I'm pretty adamant that we need to stay on posted areas, areas that are designated for off-road use. We've lost so much riding area in the last few years, a decade of riding areas being closed, and I really don't want to be the cause for that to happen. So I'm trying my best to behave and to stay in areas and respect all of the trail systems that are there. Though it ends up presenting a big problem as we're up here. Not so much at the moment. You can still see the trail pretty well, but you'll notice as we come forward that the trail kind of disappears. It starts up here in probably another 20 seconds of video. But it gets really, really hard to see where the trail is from ground level, which is funny. Here's a good example. Because if you sit back like a kilometer along the ridge line, it's actually really easy to see where the trail is. And it's weird that you can kind of see it from a distance, but you can't see it up close. Obviously, you can see a little bit of it right here. So we struggled a little bit to stay as close as we could. But overall, I feel we did a best efforts basis, and we certainly weren't trying to dig up or cause any problems. Now, for this particular video, I'm riding a 2018 WR250F. It's relatively new to me. I've only got probably about 15-20 hours on it now. You'll see me kind of go off to the side here. I was struggling a little bit through the day, still trying to figure out what kind of gearing I want to use on it. It's been getting used to it. It's significantly different than my KTM 350 that I've been riding on for the last while, and then my Honda 450 before that. I really, really enjoy riding little 250s. They're honestly just way more fun to me. I don't have the skill to ride a 350 or a 450. I mean, I can plod through and and so on. But it's honestly, it's trying to kill me all the time. And the 250, I feel like I can ride it like I stole it, but one of the difficult parts is getting used to how the power is applied, and especially in the really low stuff, you can't tractor, although the WRF is pretty good for it. You do need to get a little higher into RPM, and I wasn't doing a good job of that today. So I struggled a little bit on a couple of the hill climbs. Mostly when I got my speed down low enough, I was getting kicked around a little more than I'm used to. I really got to get the speed back up, but I couldn't find a good location or a good fit for the speed. Now, as I said earlier, our destination in this, and the place of that beautiful photo, is the top of Cataman Mountain. I don't know much history about the area. It's a coal mining area. I don't think anything's been done on this mountain, although the crushed rock at top does look suspect. Pretty bouncy, a little bit loose. But we're up at roughly 8,000 feet here. It's not the tallest mountain in the area, but it is the tallest mountain in this range, I believe, or at least kind of locally here. You certainly don't see much all that much taller. It's just epically beautiful place. Pretty relaxing to just sit at the top and have your sandwich. They got those nice little monuments there with a little booklet you can put your name in, which is always nice to leave a little bit of yourself up there. With poor John without his kickstand. But the only complaint I have with the area is that of all day, this area here had bugs, and I don't know why there would be bugs up here. There was just these little flying green things everywhere, and it was manageable, but it was also noticeable that there was definitely more bugs here than anywhere else. And I guess like all trips that go to the top, you got to come down. Scenery was just as good on the way down. It's kind of neat. When you ride up, it looks one way. When you ride down, it looks something entirely different. But it's neat to get a kind of a different perspective, different sight lines as you go down. One of the other considerations with riding in areas that are a little more remote and protected, you'll see in a few moments here that we came across a family of mountain goats, and I got a funny story sometime that I can tell you guys about a mountain goat. But we obviously wouldn't have disrupted them if we had seen them a little bit earlier. We did stop for a little bit and then let them pass, or as much as they could, but eventually we just kind of slowly rolled through, trying not to be disruptive to them. Again, trying to protect nature. If you're out there, guys, don't be ruining this for the rest of us. Those goats live there, and you shouldn't be ripping through their houses. Now, when you're riding up here and you're focused on your riding and the rocks and the trail ahead, you're out there picking lines, and you kind of got your head down. Every now and then I'll get caught looking off to the side and end up having a nice little wreck or something. But I noticed in the video here how much that we were riding along the exact ridge line or the shoulder of the mountain. I'm not sure what the technical term is. I'm not really a mountain person, other than that I enjoy them. But there were so many spots here that you could, realistically, if you really wanted to open it up, you could quite a lot more. We were mostly, taking a nice riding pace, but here we are drifting off to the left again. I missed my shift and just chucked my bike around a little bit there. But I think by the end of this ride that I had mostly figured out. There goes Nathan showing me up, going up the hill. And here's the cliffside that I was talking about. You don't really pay attention to it while you're riding there. You're just focused on keeping your line, but not so much there. But there were some pretty sharp edges that if you were to get deflected over, wouldn't be super pleasant. So it's just funny seeing it in the video. Like I was saying, there's some sections here that you can open it up a little bit, and with my new bike, it's got one of the reversed engines in it, so the intake's in front of you, and you can hear the snort of the intake on the bike. So I'm going to let the audio run here in a little bit, just because I think it sounds great. That's me just about losing control there. It was a nice little sideways wheelie, or as we call it in our family, a 90-degree wheelie. It was completely under control, and there was nothing wrong with that. But I'll let you listen to the bike on the way up this hill. I think it sounds great, so enjoy. Also, just before we go out, this is a little bit of a longer pull, but to me it looks like what I imagine Scotland or Ireland to be like, so I think that's pretty cool, and I kind of doesn't bother me if you guys don't think that way. But for posterity, we do continue after this, so stick around.
a long pull.
It is. I was in fourth at the bottom and then third for the rest, but I was bogging out at the top, but I made it.
Now, that's not the only kind of riding that I'd like to do, but realistically, that's an awesome pull up a hill. Not particularly difficult in any way. It was nice to be able to just put it in second gear and sit there kind of 2/3 throttle and peel it up. Not too many places that you can climb that much. I don't know how much vertical we move in that, but it was a lot. Again, not super tiring, just awesome to be able to sit there with the throttle open and hauling it up the hill. Now, on the way down back to the truck, we took pretty much the same route. A few different lines here and there, but overall same destination. Love to come back into the area and check out to see if there's more single track or different mountain peaks to go to, and honestly love to do the mountaintop again. It was a lot of fun. But overall, just got to send a big thanks out to John and Nathan for inviting me along, and hopefully we can connect again for some more rides in the future.
Well, I feel like I won the bronze the way I'm sitting here.
I stole the gold by coming in last.
Right in the last leg. It was like, oh.